Well, are you feeling lonely and are you having a hard time finding true community? Well, we all need friends that we can open up to about our fears, struggles, hopes, dreams. Today, Jennie Allen is here to share how you can find yours. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying Table Talk. And remember, click that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest posts. Well, in a world that's becoming increasingly lonely and disconnected, how can we find meaningful friendships? And how are authentic relationships one of the most important keys to being happy and fulfilled? Well, today's special guest is here to answer those questions and more. But first, joining me around the table is my dear friend, April Simons. How are you?
I'm doing great.
You know, connection, and you're all about that.
Yes, I am.
It's really important, isn't it?
People may not know that we're all friends on this table.
Yeah,
that's right.
And we have been for years.
Yeah, since we were 2.
Yeah. We started when we were 2, that's right.
Well, I'm older. I think I was 10.
Well, it's always good to have you on the table. And
Thank
Rachel Lamb Brown, how are you?
I'm good, and I'm so excited about this topic because this is something me and Josh have actively been working on and pursuing. And I think it's a topic that we need to talk about in my generation because we're so content just to, feel like we're friends with people because we follow them on Instagram. And it's more than that.
Yeah. All the pictures and stories that sometimes are not real.
I know, it's true.
That's right. Cindy Murdoch. So this is important. We were talking earlier that you and I, we didn't grow up with cell phones or computers.
No.
I mean, and so it was very important that we connect with community, with church. I mean, I was so involved. I mean, I was at church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. I was in the youth choir. I was in the youth group. I mean, we did everything together with community.
We did. And it was like genuine, good, bad, and ugly. You went through everything together in life, and you just were great friends.
Yeah. It's so important. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You know, she is a speaker, best-selling author who's passionate about discipleship and helping others build community. And today she's here to share about her new book, Find Your People. Please help me welcome Jennie Allen. Here she comes.
Hi, guys.
Hey. I love your bright yellow book.
Oh,
It's so happy.
It is happy.
Like you.
We need some happy.
It is so happy for sure. Well, you know, some of our deepest desires as human beings are to feel loved, seen, and connected to others. But research shows that 3 in 5 Americans are struggling with chronic loneliness. So why is this happening? And how can we bridge the gap between where we are and where God intends for our relationships to be? So what really inspired you to write this book? Was there something going on? Usually there is when God puts something in our heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of times I write books because of something that I notice in myself. And this was certainly a journey for me to get to a place where I have my people, and I do.
Yeah.
But I just noticed whenever I would travel overseas, and it would be even in places like Italy, sometimes in Rwanda and Africa, my son's from Rwanda, I would see
You adopted a child from Rwanda to go along with your other 3, right? So you have 4.
I have 3 bio kids, and then my youngest is adopted. And he, his country, we love his country. We go back to his country a lot. And we're so crazy about it. And one reason why is because there is this sense of connection and this sense of communal living and protecting each other and fighting for each other. And so when I was over there, I really was curious. I thought, what are we doing wrong in the U.S.? Because we act like, and people would say, oh, he's so lucky you're bringing him to a better place. And I had spent enough time in Africa, in Rwanda specifically, that I was like, I don't think so. Like, I actually think I'm taking him from a place that is very, very healthy and powerful in the way that they're connected to each other in villages. And I was always sober that we didn't do that part better.
Yeah.
To think, I mean, just this, like me getting to rub your arm. There's something about that
Cindy just had a birthday.
Connection. Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
She's 49. Good job, Cindy.
That's good. Yes, very good.
And holding.
Yes. Well, what I love is that there is, I think, a universal awareness right now that being alone was not good. You know, it was the first thing that God said when he built a human on the earth. He put him there and he said, it is not good for man to be alone. And that's true today as well. And so we all, I think, are coming out of the season with this hopefully as a high priority, that maybe we weren't even doing this well before.
And you know, growing up, many of us grew up with family around us. You know, we had aunts and uncles and cousins and nieces and nephews. And if someone got sick, all the aunts would come in or all the cousins would come in. And now we are in cities far away from family, and you don't have that support group. So it's necessary to get that with friends and to have the authentic friendships so you can become family.
And you can tell now, Anna is the extrovert right at the table. You got that? Because we're talking about extroverts and introverts.
Yes. But what do you think is the struggle? Because even before the pandemic, this has always been something that's been so difficult for people. And I think sometimes people think like, oh, if I move or if I change jobs or if I go somewhere different. And it really, community to me, I feel like is the same everywhere you go. It's hard work and it takes investment.
And you're going to find good people and bad people in all these communities. You know?
Oh, yes. And all of us are both, right? I mean, people, even the good ones hurt us. And so I think it's that reality of there has been so much hurt and people have been so wounded by this and they've tried. You know, the story I hear over and over again is I've tried, it's not working.
I've been hurt in the church.
Yes.
How many times we heard that?
Oh, and it's real. And I'm empathetic towards that because I have been hurt too. What I know is that it is difficult, but we're also set up. So there's three things that I feel like are the enemy to this in our world right now. Number one is culturally. We're in a very independent society. The value of individualism is very high in America and in the West. I think people hopefully listening in different parts of the world are going, actually, we're great at this, you know, and it is true. There are a lot of countries that are a lot better at this than us. But for us right now in the West, a lot of the West, independence can be possible because of wealth, right? Like we have enough. We can Amazon what we need. We don't borrow something from a friend. Like when I grew up, my mom sent me all the time over to our neighbor's house to borrow an egg.
Yes.
You know, we always borrowed a cup of flour.
A cup of sugar.
Yes. Yeah. And it was always kind of the same things that she ran out of, but it was easy and it happened all the time. My kids don't do that. I just hop over 5 seconds
Rachel's
to the
like,
store.
what? Mom, you did that?
Yeah. Because,
okay, I do have to say, one time we did borrow some laundry detergent.
Yes.
Not laundry
You
detergent.
remember it?
Laundry detergent. It was detergent for
dishwashing.
The dishwasher from Jonathan and Susie, which is my brother and sister-in-law. They live in the same neighborhood, and they dropped some pods off for us.
Well, yes. And so, but just even that was your family. You felt comfortable with that. I think,
and I even felt uncomfortable with that because I didn't want to inconvenience them.
Yeah.
If you want to boil it down, we don't want to inconvenience
There you
people.
go. Yeah.
In our culture, it is a very broken way to live because the reality is inconvenience is relationships, right? It just always will be. That is how you do it. It is always inconvenient.
I have a really good story about this because when I broke my foot, it was super late at night, and so Josh had to stay at home with the baby. And so I just thought, I'm just gonna drive myself. And I drove myself, hopped into the ER with a broken foot, and one of the girls from my small group was like, hey, I'll come watch the baby. I'll, you know, come with you to the ER. And I was like, it's okay, it's super late. Like, I don't want to inconvenience you. And she texted me a picture of an ER, and she was like, I'm driving to every single ER until I find you. So you can either tell me or I'm going to show up.
That's a good friend.
And I said,
and that's a true, like, and she's right. You should never drive yourself to the ER.
But literally I said, it's okay, I'm meeting with the doctor, I'm just gonna go home after that. I don't want to inconvenience you. And next thing I know, she's walking in my hospital room, and I was like, I cannot believe you're here right now. She goes, you had me at the word inconvenience. I never want you to feel like
now let me ask you this. Do you mind being inconvenienced?
And that's the thing that challenged me, is that how important is it to show up for people?
Well, and I think we don't mind being needed. I actually think something in the way God made us, we are longing for someone to need us. And so when someone asks something of us, I remember our neighbor moved in, the first day they moved in, their air conditioner broke across the street. And they couldn't get it fixed right away. And my husband we just had met him, and they were telling us the story. My husband lights up and says, I have a window unit in my attic, which why did we keep that? I do not know. But we had it from some, similar situation. And so he goes up in the attic, it's so hot, he's figuring out where it is, he cleans it up, he helps the guy install it, they spend an hour together. That guy is going to the basketball game with my husband tonight. They became friends through that. And I think it's those little moments of inconvenience that actually help us bond.
Do you remember when we had the ice storm?
Yes.
And you lost your power?
Yes.
And there,
my friend.
and there she was freezing. Like, what was your house? It was like
45 degrees or
with
something.
you little
and my
dogs.
dog.
And I had to convince her
To come over.
to come over.
Because I kept thinking we can start a fire and we can.
Because she was
sit
just
right-
like, I think we'll be okay. And finally, I was
Did you
like,
do it?
we did it.
Good.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
wasn't
she
that just
went.
the best memory?
And this
It
one
was-
came too.
Yeah.
It was
Because
amazing.
she didn't have
I
hot
didn't have
water.
hot water and needed to take a bath.
We had a bunch of people with us until ours went out, and then they all left, and we had a little generator enough for a room. But yeah. But those memories. I mean, I remember
They make
people I didn't
great
even know
memories.
that were roommates with some of our friends.
Yeah.
Came over and stayed with us, and were reading on the floor to our kids. And guys, that's how most of the world is living today, right? They need each other to survive, and so I think it's good to fundamentally know that that's part of what's broken.
And I think that's a key, and I think you brought up in your book that it takes intentionality.
Yes.
Like, you have to be intentional because it's not always going to be convenient.
Yeah. I think we would
It's
all
not
have
just gonna
this.
happen.
I think we all want it.
Yeah.
Why don't we have it? Because of that. Because it is work, and we have to get out of our robes and make a plan and initiate with
And
people.
out of our comfort.
And right now, no one has the muscle practiced, or most people don't have the muscle warmed up and practiced well of initiation, right? We haven't had to do that. We've all been kind of huddled up with our people in our house or alone. And so practicing that muscle, it really is, it takes time.
I have to brag on my Bessie here, though, because when your dad went to be with the Lord, one of the things we did every morning was what?
Have coffee.
Have coffee. And so she called me and said, I want to get ready early and come over with you at 8 o'clock in the morning
Man, you're gonna get
and
me.
have coffee with you. And so she's done it with me now probably 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's such a blessing because number one, she's got to come to work. So that means she has to get up earlier and get ready and drive to my house. I'm still in my gown when she comes in, you know, but she sits there for an hour and has coffee with me.
And it is like,
awesome.
money could never buy those moments that we
Yeah.
have.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are precious.
Yeah, and plus the coffee with the coconut creamer is good too.
Yeah, and then sometimes she'll say, you know what, let me just fix breakfast, and we'll
Yeah,
have breakfast.
yeah, that's
and It's really special. But
I mean-
but it is, I want to be with her that bad.
Yeah, she knows
That I
that
do
it's
wanna
very
get up.
lonely, in the morning.
Well, there's everything about this is magical, and everyone listening right now is tearing up. And the reason why is because it's what we hope happens in our lives in difficult moments, right?
Yeah.
But as several magical things happen. Number one, that you thought of when would be the right moment to be with her that would mean the most to her.
Yeah.
And so it was thoughtful. You knew her well enough for that. And then two, you said yes, like come over. And I think it's both. It's the initiation and the saying yes that it takes.
I get excited the night before when I know she's coming. Like, she's coming. I have somebody to have coffee
And
with.
it's getting warm
Yeah.
enough, we're going to play beanbag toss before long.
Yeah, well, cornhole.
I love that you just called it that.
I love that. Because we also played cornhole, me and Marcus early. This is the stuff we did before we came to Daystar. We had a whole morning together of doing things like
And
that.
we
Getting
love
an
watching your
inside
red
peek.
bird, and we get to watch that in
Oh,
the
yeah,
mornings.
yeah, that's right. So,
So those are precious moments, and then they become precious memories.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the best ways for people to connect is because I go to a really big church, and for the longest time I'd walk in and walk out, and I'm like, I can't like ever meet anybody, and
yeah,
like
because
how
you
do I
can't
connect?
really have any meaningful relationships when you're in a big churches. Big churches
But
are great.
you can.
know?
I feel like you can if you get involved in
exactly.
something.
Yeah,
And
you
so
have
for
to make it
us,
smaller.
My
Yeah.
husband is on the worship team, so we found so much community in that. But for other people, it could be like just serving, volunteering.
I tell people all the time. So we run an organization called If Gathering, and we hire lots of young girls that end up moving here to Dallas. And I always tell them, go join a church and start serving in the nursery.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
then you will meet people of different ages. Because to me, the
and they'll
vision
love
of
you
this,
if you take care of their kids.
That's right.
Yes,
They're so
yes,
grateful.
yes.
And you'll be there for an hour and a half, 2 hours talking, to the people that you're serving with. And one of the visions for this project was more than finding your few best friends. It was also finding a village, because I think that's what really we don't understand in the West, is that there are people, in my friend in India that when her son was young, he would run through the village And everyone would correct him if he was wrong, because they knew who his grandmother and his mother was. And they were like, I'm gonna tell, and there was this sense of communal parenting even. And I think that's really what we're craving is connection in such a way. And it is possible. I moved to Dallas and I really did the experiment myself first. And I said, okay, what can we learn from other people and other places that live this better than me? And then what do we see in the Bible? And what I learned, I could apply even in the middle of Dallas, in the middle of a big church. All of my places are big, and yet I've made choices that have really changed that dynamic, and I feel like I have my village now.
Oh, that's so
What
good.
does that look like?
So for me, it was immediately I started praying for 5 friends within 5 miles, and so I prayed, God, would you bring me those people? And it started with a small group at church. I reached out to one of my counselors from Connecticut, which was, this is a summer camp. This is from 20 years ago. I hadn't seen her in 20 years.
Those are some of the best friends that come back in your
but
life.
But how awkward, right?
Yeah.
Everything was awkward about it. I call her to go to coffee 20 years later. I don't know if you remember me. And we go to coffee and we had a ball, and she told me about the small group that we're still a part of 5 years later. And so it was just braving a few steps and then saying, hey, we need this. And I remember telling her, hey, do you have a lot of good friends? And she was like, I have a few. And I was like, do you have room for more? Again, this is so awkward.
Room for one
and,
more.
and she was like, I do. And I was like, well, I need friends. I had to say it so that she knew that I needed her. And then that precious friend is hosting a shower for my daughter who's getting married. And it's just,
awesome.
it's sweet. It's the beginning of things that matter, but
It doesn't
it's awkward.
happen unless you take the step. Like
That's
a
it.
common thing that I get asked is, or how do I get out of this loneliness? But you got to put feet to your faith, and you got to do what you did. That's a great story.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It is.
It's a choice to step
and I
out.
know, with Anna, I know that you're staying home probably more because you're having to help take care of Fred.
That's right.
Your husband of how many years now?
57.
57 years, which is amazing.
It's either 57 years or I'm 57 years old, which is
Okay. So, but you have that responsibility. So
Absolutely.
there are different seasons.
It is a different
right?
season. And we used to have more people over than we do. We used to go out more than we do. So it's one that I had to recognize and not try to keep doing everything that I'd done before and realize this is this season. I'm at peace with it.
And she doesn't realize how much she helps all of us because her wisdom just pours into us.
But I feel like you also you reap what you sow, and so when you are inviting people and including people and creating events and opportunities for a community to happen, then when you need that, those people are going to be there for you too. But if you don't do anything, you can't expect to have that.
Right. Yeah.
You can't expect to have friends if you're not friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
I can look at, a lot of my friends who have always been my friends for so many years, because like I said, I keep them forever and ever.
Yeah, if you break in the inner circle, then you never leave.
Yeah, if you're in the inner circle, you are there
For life.
For life. But those people are the ones that showed up for me when your dad passed. They're the ones calling. They're the ones coming over. They're checking on me and stuff. And so it's important to have. So you have those 5 friends, and then you have other friends.
Others, yes.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how do you navigate that?
Yeah.
And
So
everybody's so different,
I know. So one of the things I found so helpful in the research is that there was a study of kind of what our capacities are, because we all have certain capacities, and our capacities for that inner circle that I think we all think of when we think of our people, that capacity really is only about 2 to 5. And those are the people that are gonna know daily what's going on in your life. But then you look at the history matched with the research, and you see that we really have a capacity for about 50 acquaintance friends that you can check on, and if something happens to them, you can bring them a casserole. You can kind of
You feel that comfort
Yes,
there, yeah.
you can play a role in their life.
Yeah.
They're not going to be your daily friend, but they might be a monthly friend or an every other month friend that you keep up with. And then of course the 150 outside of that or so is what makes up the village of just Sunday school teachers and people in your life that you know. And then what I really encourage people to do is, because we don't live in a world where village life is normal, I encourage people to notice the village that's around them, the 150 to 50 people that are in your everyday life. And out of that, you're gonna find all kinds of things, but you're gonna find things that you need. You're probably going to find that 2 to 5 best friends out of that village, but it may not be who you expect. And so just to be, when your kid is playing soccer, or when you're, for instance, for you, it's probably neighbors right now or people that are in a really close vicinity, to notice who's walking the dog out front and sit outside and, be drinking your coffee. We put a table and chairs in our front yard just so we could, be out front instead of always out back and start to notice who's right in front of us.
That's so good. It's interesting, like if you're walking, like I would meet people when I go for a walk, the neighbors and stuff, and you start talking, but you have to kind of get out because...
No, literally, Josh knows all of our neighbors, and that's his personality. My husband, he will go,
extrovert,
and if we have we get cupcakes or something, he'll be like, oh, we have some left over, we should go give them to the neighbors. I'm like, is that weird? I don't know.
Not weird.
He knows all of them, and they text, and when we were out of town and we got a package that came to our door, he was able to text our neighbor, hey, do you mind just throwing this in your garage until we get back? Absolutely. So it's just crazy. I'm like,
you look
man,
after
you know the
each
whole
other. It's so
street, you know all the people.
Oh, yeah. What about people who are watching and say, but I'm shy?
Yeah.
Because I'm shy, actually.
Yeah, I am too, actually. And I know I don't come across that way at all, but my word for the year when I wrote this book was be nice to strangers, because I kind of keep my eyes down and I don't look around. And the research was bothering me of just how many people around me are looking for this and craving this. And so just to be available. And I would say to them, it's, not to take a baby step. One of the girls that read the book, she told me that she had sat next to a mom at gymnastics for years. Like the two of them have been watching their kids. And not that they'd never spoken, but they'd never gone very deep. And so her conviction after reading this was, I'm gonna talk to her. The 30 minutes we're there, I'm just gonna start a conversation. They talked the whole time. They started a game night with their husbands. Like it became more. Wow. And so it just starts by asking intentional questions. But one of the things I tried to do in the book was to give really clear handles. Like this is how you start a friendship. These are conversations you could start with people, because I know not everyone even knows what to ask or
okay, so
what
start
to do.
one with us. Yeah.
Okay, well I would start, probably in a place of, because we're talking about this, like how have you seen in your recent, with everything you've been through, what has it looked like for you to grieve with people? I would ask something probably pretty deep, because you've been honest and transparent. This is a part of your life. You're walking through that. And I would genuinely be curious. Like have you been able to cry with a friend? And you don't have to answer that. That's really on the spot. But
I'll answer it. Yeah, I've cried over here and over here. But, what I would say for me personally, because I am pretty private and also a little shy, right? We're introverted, is that just complete strangers, because obviously I'm on television, who just say, are you okay? Or how are you? You're just like, no, wrong question. Okay. And I'll just say, I'm hanging in here, but I'm not going to say I'm good, because I'm working through this process. And I don't want to go to that deep place with every person.
But how important is vulnerability in
that actually, the question, and that's okay. Yeah. You are recognizing that in this moment, you're not in a 2 to 5. You're not with your friend. Yeah. But so the typical questions I say is, there's the get to know you questions, and then there's the deciding questions of people moving in from that outer circle into an inner circle, right? Yeah. And that's more of that type of question. Yeah. And I think that's wise to know the boundary.
But with you being in ministry, see, that puts us on a different level, because you understand about that. So I would probably be more open to say, well, this is how I feel, and this is kind of how I've navigated and stuff. But I think, just being that person that lost the love of my life, I think the most important thing you can say to someone like that, and all you widows out there that write me, this is for you, is just to say, you know what, I just want you to know I'm praying for you, and we love you. And then if you're ready to talk, you'll talk. But
well, and what you just asked was vulnerability. Yeah. That matters. But you have that with the right people. Yeah. And I think that's what it takes a little discernment on our parts of, there are people that share too much all the time, right? They're on Facebook.
I was going to ask, oversharing. How do you know when to go there?
That's
how do you know when you're
They are telling everything on Facebook.
That's not where
Instagram,
you do it, y'all. Everybody's lonely and they're like sticking it out there and it's not working.
Or they're telling every issue going on in their life, like private stuff. And I'm like, I can't believe they wrote that.
And this is why, to me, it's so helpful to define different groups of people in your life, because there are the 2 to 5 that if nobody is in that 2 to 5 and you're acquaintances with everyone, that is not okay. You have to be known by someone. And that vulnerability is going to be the way that happens. So you saying yes to her to come over and then crying with her and talking with her. That is the magic of what happens in the inner circle. That should not happen probably much further than that. But I think that those outer circles can play a part too in our lives. And let's say something happens to someone in our inner circle, which often that will happen, whether it's a move or something, you know, death or something else where there's a loss in that inner circle, then you've got the village to pull from and to notice there's other people, you know, to fill in those holes and those voids. That's why I think we've been thinking about community all wrong. We've been thinking about it as that inner circle and that's it. And reality is we need more than just someone to cry with. We also need people to help us, you know, and bring a meal when something bad happens or to help with our kids and give us advice. So I hope and think we build a bigger network than just that inner circle.
Yeah, and I think we're just about out of time, but I want you just to quickly answer the forgiveness question because, again, when you talk about opening yourself up to these friendships, and there's some going to be great, and you're going to ask the right question, you're going to connect, and then there's going to be others where it's not going to be there, and then there can be hurt feelings if that doesn't develop into a friendship, and how do you deal with that?
So the deeper this goes, the deeper you go with your people, which is what this, I believe the scriptures call us to, and this is what I'm calling everyone to in this book, the messier it gets, and the more likely you will get hurt. And so...
And you are going to get hurt. Can we just say...
hurt.
Yeah.
For sure, and it's why people don't do this. But we do it anyway because we need it, and it is life. And you look, I mean, what a beautiful day this is for me, even just to be with all of you who have known each other for so long and stuck together. Because that is what I want for people in my generation.
And we've been through a lot together, all of us.
Yes, but I would say my generation and younger tends to kind of push back from, as soon as someone hurts them, they're out. They'll find someone else. Friendships feel disposable. And I'm sure y'all have gotten in your fights. I'm sure there have been times you've been offended by each other or hurt by each other. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Thank you, Lord. Yes.
You know, there's a scripture, though, that is so, and I can't tell you where it is, but it's the scripture that says, great peace have those who love God's law or love God's word, and nothing shall offend them. So offense is a choice.
That's right.
It is a choice.
And a true friend will wound you with truth.
That's right.
That's what I was going to say. We have had those conversations. We don't get mad at each other, but, you know, she said, you know, you need to look at this and be careful. And I look at her and say, are you sure you want to do that? I mean, we're honest with each other.
It's one of the best parts of friendship.
And it's a safe place.
Yes.
Like, these people know more about everything than anybody. And it's a safe place.
Yes, that's good.
It's great.
It is. And it's not perfection, but it's something you work through, and we were made to have community. We were made to have friendships. God built us to be with people. And so I think that's important. I hope that those of you that are watching today that maybe think about that. I mean, really, those people who are around you that God has put in your path, what a blessing you could be to them, even if you don't turn out to be, you know, best friends, but still part of your community. You know, Psalms 68:6 says, God sets the lonely in families.
Amen.
I love that. If you're feeling discouraged and all alone, I want you to know that God sees you, He cares for you, and He wants to help you find your people. Just like Jennie prayed for those people, you can pray for those people. You say, well, I watch you, you're my person. Well, I love you too. And I'm glad because when I see you out and you hug me, I love that. But you need tangible people that you can touch and that can be a part of your life. I also want to encourage you with Proverbs 18:24. It says, a man who has friends must show himself friendly. And of course, Jesus was and is the greatest friend that sticks closer than a brother. God's going to help you find community, but you also have to be willing to do your part in reaching out to others and being intentional. And if you're watching today, maybe you need prayer, maybe you're just having a bad day, maybe something's going on in your life you don't understand. Really, that's why that prayer line exists. We have prayer partners standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're always ready to pray and encourage you. You can go to daystar.com, click on prayer, send your prayer request in that way, and we pray for all the prayer requests that come in from around the world. Well, I want to thank Jennie for joining us at the table. She's now become one of our people here. Yes. Remember to pick up a copy of her book, Find Your People, Building Deep Community in a Lonely World. And for more on her ministry, you can visit her online at jennieallen.com. Also, be sure to join the conversation after the program by leaving us a comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube. We always love hearing from all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited about what God's going to do in the next couple of weeks. And you'll have to write and tell me about it. Say, you know what I did? I prayed and God sent someone. And I'm doing good. So glad you watched. Remember the book, Find Your People. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for today.